Hello, hello, hello. Hey friends, Svava Brooks here. If you're watching this replay, thank you so much for being here and checking this out. I love to hang out here Tuesdays and Thursdays with my fellow survivor thrivers as we talk about the healing journey after childhood trauma, abuse, and neglect. If you're curious to learn about my trauma recovery coaching, please visit my website, svavabrooks.com. And since I'm here on YouTube, you can look below to some of the links that I include once this video is uploaded. If you are here on Periscope, hey friends, welcome. You can find my YouTube channel in my Periscope profile. But today, our topic of discussion is, as always, healing after trauma and abuse. And we are going to talk about taking our power back. And yes, part of our conversation is going to be sharing from my book, my workbook, Releasing Your Authentic Self. It's okay if you don't have the book. You're welcome to join the conversation at any point. Jump in, comments, questions. We'd love to have you be a part of the dialogue in our community. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And yes, if you're here live, please say hello. Please let me know that you're here so I can welcome you. Again, I got Periscope and YouTube going, and I'll do my best to navigate both screens, and I'm going to have to come in to see. I may not catch the names right away, my friends, because Periscope's text is teeny tiny. So, or I'm going to have to go get an extra set of glasses. So, welcome, friends. Hey, Lady Leo, how are you how are you doing today, my friend? The words are not coming out today. So look at those beautiful flowers and hearts. Hey, Lady Leo. Hey, how are you? So we start with what's new and good. What's new and good, or come as you are. As always, come as you are, right? Come as you are. You're welcome here in this space exactly as you are, with the feelings exactly as you are feeling them, and feel free to share. Absolutely no judgment. So yes, I think so, Lady Leo. Where are you liking this look? Because me, like the rest of the world, it's been a while since I've gotten to the hairdresser, but this darker look is actually growing on me a little bit. So, but actually I did have my daughter trim my hair. So I'm blessed with someone who can trim hair in the house. So but Lady Leo was asking if the sun had turned my hair darker. No, it's not that. Hey, Rob, you found me? Okay. I was having trouble going live here. I had 2 tries. It worked. So bear with me if I was delayed, but I made it. I don't know what's going on with YouTube lately. So Rachel, hey friend, how are you doing? Hey Minnie, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I saw you were posting some beautiful flowers from your back porch the other day. That looks lovely. Looks lovely. And again, to my Periscope friends, welcome. Glad you're here. If you see me answering questions, looks like I'm talking to myself. It's because I'm responding to my friends here on YouTube. Glad to have you with us here. But if you're curious and would like to join us, feel free to my YouTube channel. Link is in my Periscope profile. So, but I'm glad you're here with us. How are you doing? It wasn't you, Minnie? No, it's all right. Yes. Yes, Lady Leo. Yes, Rachel. That's right. We did see your flowers. Thank you for sharing them. Thank you for sharing. Looks like you have a little sanctuary going on in your backyard. It was Rachel's yard. Yard or back porch? I'm not sure. Maybe both. Maybe both. So while you guys are checking in, visiting, if there is someone else that's joining us here, would like to say hello, we want to say hello to you. So please let us know that you're here, your name, where you're from, so we can welcome you. But the topic of discussion today, right? We are on day 189. The year is flying by. Doesn't feel like it, right? It's one of those blur days, week. I don't know about you, but that week last week that I took off went by like that. So it was great though, but it went by fast. So, but today's our topic. We're going to dive a little deep today. Are we ready? We're going into the deep end of the pool, perhaps? I'm not hearing any no's. I'm teasing. So I'm going to set up our conversation and then we are going to go for it. So, like any child abuse survivors, right? I had to give up my power. I gave my power away all those years ago. And I just want to say I didn't have a choice. I did not have a choice. Both the fact that I was being hurt by the people that were supposed to protect me, that were supposed to teach me all about trust and safety and empowerment, right? Build my self-esteem and help me to make me feel good about myself and, develop into a healthy, well-balanced, all those things, right? Yeah, no. But it has been a long journey back, right? And part of the journey was when I actually thought that people would reject me, right? And really actually just hate me if I started to express fully who I am, who I was, and my power. And I have to say, for a long time, I was very confused about power. And I don't know about you guys, but all I had seen growing up about power was people taking it from someone else, right? The most powerful person in my house was the person that we were all afraid of. So I was curious about power, and I was confused about power because I can also say and admit, and this is something I had to forgive myself for, that I also, because of how I was being treated and abused, that I also mistreated other kids when I was younger. Like, that's how I thought I got to feel good about myself, by putting down other people. Because that's certainly what I saw most days in my house. And that was a big, yeah, I can still feel it. When I kind of looked that part of myself in the eye as part of my healing journey, as learning to accept the truth about myself and how I had acted out in all these different ways, because, right, all of us are products of our environment. And so it definitely was hard. It was hard work. It was hard to talk about it openly. Like, yep, I'm not proud of some of the ways that I acted out. as a young person, as a child. But then I also found that once I understood why, right? My acting out, my bad behavior wasn't because I was bad or broken or stupid, right? Some of those were my reoccurring stories. But it was because I was hurting and I was desperately seeking some boundary, a safe person to like intervene and enforce the rules that adults would, you would see them talk about them. But no one followed those rules. No one did what they said, and no one did what they were telling me to do. So those wires were very, very twisted up and confusing. Anybody else? Am I alone? Very hard. Very hard. And then for a long time, again, growing up in that household, watching that power and control struggle in an abusive family. Thank you, friend. Yep, you've been in the same position. I hear you. I hear you. Yes. Thank you, Lady Leo. Thank you, Rob. Right? Hey, Beverly. Hey, friend. So, right, once I understood that there is no such thing as bad behavior, it was, I was acting out, trying to learn about power. Very, very confused. And so, and we see this all around us, right? We see people who, right, feel powerful perhaps, but at the expense of, by taking it from other people, taking advantage of other people. Thank you, Rachel. That's right. Having poor examples of what an adult is, it messes with our development. Absolutely. And when we look at some of the developmental stages of kids, right, this nervous system, this body that we come in with has all these receptors looking for the right spark of a healthy, and that's the thing, it doesn't matter whether it's healthy or not healthy, this will mirror this. We can't help it. And we can't help it. And so much, then, such a big part of the healing journey, right, is to understand, oh my goodness, yes, this is what I learned growing up, but this was not helpful. This was not healthy. And the beauty of what we're learning now, right? Epigenetics, we can rewire our mind, our bodies, and it's not too late to become the parent and the protector that you needed. That you needed. Does it take time? Yes. Yes. I'm scrolling up here. Saw a comment scroll by. I hear you. Yep. Yep. Rachel asking, does EFT help to rewire the brain at all? It seems like it helps on some level. EFT is tapping, Rob. Yes, EFT does help on some level, right? It helps to take the edge off. And what do I mean by that? I got my handy chart here. I'm teaching a TRE class tonight. So EFT tapping can help bring us down, right? This is social engagement. This is where we learn. This is how we can change. But a little bit of up into fight or flight is normal. But a lot of us go way up too high in the fight flight, and the sympathetic nervous system gets really activated. And when we are high up in that system, we go from our logic, our access to our wisdom, we drop down to our emotional brain. And then if we tip into freeze, overwhelm, then we are operating on 10% capacity, right? And that's not where we learn and change. So EFT tapping definitely can help calm the nervous system a little bit. Yes, that's right. It definitely does. It definitely does help. And this is again why I love TRE so much, because TRE, tension and trauma release, where's my, since I'm throwing out these names, right? TRE activates the autonomic part of our nervous system, not this part, but the part of our brain that we have the least control over. And so once we can slowly help the nervous system to access the wisdom that it has, right? This wisdom all humans have, but we've been disconnected and trained not to, for many reasons, right? Enter the body, stay in the body, learn to self-regulate the body. So this tension stays in the body. And then the tension builds like a snowball. There's more tension, more tension, more tension, more tension, until it becomes chronic. And we are in a chronic holding pattern of fight or flight. And when our body's in a chronic tension pattern of fight or flight, we live in a state of anxiety. We live in a state of fear, because the signals coming from the body to the brain is there's something wrong, there's something wrong, there's something wrong. Right? So when we can find the tools to help the body relax, complete the cycle, all the toxic hormones that were sent into the body to respond to the traumatic event when it happened are still held in the system. So, and this is again the good news. We are learning about things like somatic healing, tapping, right? EFT. There are things that we're learning to slowly help the body do the healing. Lady Leo, no, you can actually do TRE. Excuse me. You can also do TRE sitting up. And exactly. It's in the beginning that we do the yoga stretches to activate the tremors and the psoas muscles. And once you've activated the tremors, then, I do it probably almost every day, especially right now. At the end of the busy day, I can feel my nervous system. And I just, as I go to bed, or put my knees up and let my body shake. But also, you can do it sitting up. And because for some, it's not comfortable to lay down. So once we've activated the tremors, we can play with the positions of the body. So yes, there is so much that we can do now to take our power back. Take our power back, because yes, we were victims of our circumstance. Things were done to us. Things happened to us. that for many of us, right, impacted how we carry ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, how we think about ourselves. And once we can start to trace it back, follow it, like what's the reoccurring thought? What's the reoccurring feeling? Your body is trying to process something, to release it, to correct it. And yes, it can feel like very hard work at times, the hard work, the hard work. Rachel's asked, I tried to do theory in my own, but leaning against the wall with my knees bent till my legs started trembling. Then I laid on the floor. There are a few different ways that you can activate the tremors, but to remember, when we activate the tremors and when we're finally tremoring, we are actually in a relaxed position, right? So part of the stretches that we do to activate these tremors is that we put a little bit of tension and then we relax. We put a little bit of attention and then we relax. And so when we are tremoring, we are actually in a relaxed position and it is happening automatically. We are not the one, controlling the tremors. So it's awesome, Rachel, if you have been able to get them going on your own. There are people that have, go to YouTube and look up some of the videos to follow along. So definitely it's a way for you to explore for anybody. But what is also very helpful in the beginning, because there are certain things that are very subtle. It's like when you do yoga on your own and when you do it with a practitioner, it's like there's a lot of subtle cues to how to hold yourself and to tune your breath and to the muscle that is helpful to have guidance with. And also, if you have a lot of trauma in your body, it is definitely helpful to have someone hold the space for you while you are relaxing and letting your body tremor. That was one of my greatest challenges when I was learning TRE, was that I did not feel safe doing it on my own. Hey friend, how are you doing? So I needed someone to be there with me because I didn't have a baseline for safety, right? This body didn't know what self-regulation was really, and also what that social engagement state felt like. So you're welcome, Rachel. You're welcome. But what is powerful, and one of the reasons why I, sought to become a practitioner, is that once you learn it, it's like you can run with it on your own. And it is very powerful. And it also alleviates the need to talk about things, the story. Once your body releases the tension, then the need, right? Because that tension is sending signals to your mind, and the mind is trying to make up the story. What's the story? What happened? Once the tension goes away, the need to talk about it, the need to process. And then also for so many of us, like I had so much childhood trauma that I couldn't talk about, pre-verbal trauma. And TRE has helped me process that as well. So let's see here. Awesome. Good for you. That's awesome. And the thing to keep in mind, Rachel and Vincent, is that when you start tremoring, make sure you keep it under 10 minutes. And in those 10 minutes, take at least 2 breaks for 2 minutes. Because when you're activating the nervous system for the first time, you're tapping into that autonomic nervous system and you don't want to overwhelm it. You want to go super, 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 super slow. So like any new practice, right? if it's comfortable, if it feels calm, if you're grounded and able to self-regulate and stay kind of mindful and present to what's going on, awesome. But for the first 2 to 3 months, don't do more than 10 minutes at a time and keep it to only 3 times per week. I am pretty hard on that rule because for a lot of us, it can tap into the fight or flight a little bit. So staying underneath. Yes, you're welcome. Yes, it can go full speed. And that's another thing to remember. You're in control. You're in control. You can always stop, and less is more. Because I don't know about you, but I thought, well, if a little bit of the shaking helps, then a lot of shaking would help more, right? I have a lot of trauma. I want to shake, 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 get it out. No, no, it doesn't work that way. Because if this nervous system is not familiar with the shaking, we then are just driving up tension. So we want to make sure when we're shaking that we are staying somewhere down here, that we aren't driving it up here. And so that comes with the practice of your awareness, and you will know the day after. Like if you try it, see how you feel the next day. If you feel you may be a little sore the first few times, and then the next day, if you feel like you had a really good workout, you went for a good hike or a deep tissue massage, you're feeling maybe a little tired but calm, you did great. If you're feeling nervous system activation, meaning you're irritable, emotional, kind of edgy, then definitely maybe only start with 5 minutes, right? It's better to go way slow than go fast. And again, in the first time, stop and start, stop and start, start and stop as often as you can within those 2 minutes, 10 minutes, because you want to create safety between your mind and your body. You're not losing control, because it feels, it's an interesting experience in the beginning because there's something happening in your body that you are not, you're just letting it happen. You're not controlling it, but you can intervene and stop it. So I hope that was helpful, Rachel. And there you go. Just go slow. Just go super, super, super slow. And I do want to encourage all of you to try it. A few of you have done it with me. And if you can recall, even if you just, go back and start super slow in the long haul, it will make a world of difference. It's very, very subtle, but it's a very simple tool, but incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful, because there aren't many tools that actually get to the part of your biology where the trauma is stored. Because it isn't your logical brain who's responding to trauma. Yes, your emotional brain responds a little bit, but the part that automatically responds to trauma is your lizard brain, right? It is the oldest part of our brain. And TRE gets in there. It activates the tremors and helps to release them there. So not only does it help us to release old trauma, but it also then creates more energy flow in the body. We talked about all this rewiring, through epigenetics, we're making different choices. So as we make different choices, they can be challenging in the beginning. You are slowly moving the energy to support this new way of being in the world, being in your body, right? Rob says, I did get a jaw tremor, which went to the heart of the trauma for me. That's right, Rob. The tremors they start to travel. The tremors are wise. They know where in your body you are holding tension, right? I love it when the tremors go to my shoulders. And I had a neck injury for a long time from childhood. My neck has more flexibility now. So it's really powerful. And I think it's added to, the reason why I take now I take good care of my body now, because I'm learning how much wisdom it is and how much capacity it has to heal and restore. Once we can help it move some of that tension, right, that is stuck in the body, and some of the hard feelings like shame. When we feel shame, that's a signal to the brain, to the mind. It's actually a self-attacking feeling. When we carry a lot of shame, we are actually flooding our nervous system with the toxic hormones of there's something wrong. Not only is it something is wrong, but right, I felt wrong. I felt bad. Yes, that's right, Rob. It answers the question of nature versus nurture. Exactly. It is both. It is both. Of course, we come hardwired, we bring into the world a lot of the things that our parents experienced, right? And then from our environment, what did we learn? How were we treated? What did we see and what did we learn, right? Our bodies are just like cells in a petri dish. We respond to our environment. But once we change our environment, we respond differently. And that's what we're doing here, my friends. We are opening up to the possibility of having, not just the possibility, we are having some very hard conversations that usually I wouldn't have for years. It was too shameful. It was too embarrassing. I didn't want people to know that I was sexually abused, right, by the people closest to me. I thought it was my fault, that I had done something bad. But now I'm like, it was not my fault, not my secret, right? If you think less of me or whoever because of that, not my problem. I know who I am, not my shame. But that was the story I took on as a child to survive that experience. I had to clean that one out for a long time, right? So, how do we take our power back? To recognize, yes, we had to give our power up, give it away. We didn't have power over the people that were there. So, and that's what we're doing. Like, once we get educated about trauma, we get educated about what happens to us when we miss out on certain developmental stages or support around certain stages, right? It's not your fault, but it's not too late. It's not too late. So let me turn to the Facebook group. That was quite the tangent I went on here today. So the questions here, let me start again. Like any child abuse survivor, I gave my power away all those years ago. It's been a long journey back, and I thought people would hate me if I expressed my power fully. I thought they would reject me if I allowed myself to feel my power. And we already talked about, right, the confusion about power in our culture and in many Western cultures. But I was wrong, right? Today, I reconnect with this lost part of myself. Now I know who I am. I know what I am. I know why I do what I do, how I serve. And I'm also open to the possibility that there's still things that I don't know that I don't know. and I can change, and I can change my mind, and I'm a good person, right? Do not let other people make me feel small or bad. No, not anymore. No, thank you. So the two questions that I asked in our community today: how does it feel when you ask for what you need in a healthy way? And how do your family and friends react when you do this, right? There's a lot of the needs that we can take care of for ourselves as we grow up into an unhealthy adult. We understand how maybe our wounded self or our inner child may be acting out in this body for a while. I had to intervene and become the parent, right? Reparent myself. But then I also learned how to ask for what I need from others in a healthy way. So in our community, thank you, Lady Leo. She shared here, gave me permission to share her comment. She says, when I ask for what I need in a healthy way, it's still very scary, but doable. Currently, seeking what is my young adult part needs. What is it that my young adult part needs from the adult that I am today? The hardest part of that for me is I know that part of me, excuse me, needs self-forgiveness and compassion. However, it's difficult, and I honestly don't know what that looks like or is actually. Since my biological family is not involved in my healing process, there is no reaction from them. But the bonus family I have created is very encouraging and supportive. That's beautiful, Lady Leo. I hear you. I hear your awareness. I hear your willingness, which in my book is courage, right? I say willingness is courage undercover. So, seeking what that young adult part needs from you today. Yes, and I just spoke to this earlier, my friend, right? So much of what I needed once I had that awareness of how my child self, my teenage self, my young adult self, even my adult, fully grown self had acted out, right? How could I be there for her? How could I show her kindness when there were things that I wasn't so proud of? But again, I understood she was acting out. And sitting with her, telling her over and over and over again, hey, sweet baby girl, hey, young woman, right? I'm here for you. I understand. I know you think you're never going to be a good person, right? That you somehow deserve this, or you're never going to amount to anything, or whatever the story was. She had a long list, right? So it took time. It took time. And telling her over and over and over again, I hear you. I see you. I believe you. I remember. I was there. No matter what you say or do or did, I will not turn away from you. I will not reject you. I will not stop loving you. All the things that I so needed to hear and was acting out because I was looking for that from someone. Can someone see me? Can someone hear me? Can someone see my struggle? Right? This was self-harming behavior. So you're doing a beautiful job, my friend. Thank you for sharing. And I'm so proud of you that you have found, like you said, a bonus family that you've created to help yourself to heal and restore, because we do not do this work in isolation. We need a community. We need some friends to practice. So thank you, Lady Leo. Hey, Minnie, I see you, my friend. I'm so glad you're here and sharing. I hear you. Rachel says, I can relate to what you said, Lady Leo. Very well expressed. I hear you, Minnie. Hey, Minnie, you are always welcome. I am sorry that you don't feel like you're part of it anymore. You are always welcome, my friend. We see you, we hear you, we accept you. I hope you trust that. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Lady Leo. And here I see Rob shared with us. Rob says, it's scary still, but more and more I feel confident and assured feeling to actually speak what I need, and that feels great. Increasing my confidence and self-esteem. It's like the different choices we have, the choice to not do anything and regret it for sure, or the choice to dare and maybe fail, but maybe succeed, but never regret. Comfort versus uncomfortable. I haven't involved my family as they are a part of the problem. I hear you, Rob. I hear you. And we are so glad that you are here with us and sharing. We appreciate it, right? This is the place to practice and recognizing that, yeah, it's sometimes harder to make those vulnerable choices, right? When we didn't get to go through that as kids, right? It's like trying and failing. It's like what childhood is really all about. But when our childhoods were all wrapped up in trying to stay safe, trying to avoid getting into trouble, trying to appease or please the people around us so they would leave us alone or wouldn't hurt us. So we definitely, right, we missed out on some important experiences. So, and again, this is where having a safe place where you can practice. Once you know, now you know what you didn't know. And that's in itself hard because we get to feel our feelings and grief, but then having a safe place to practice, recognizing that, right, here are people that are on the same path. So I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. That's right, Rob. Difficult choices can be the most rewarding. Comfortable is a false comfort. Yeah, right? It's our comfort zone. What's in our comfort zone are maybe things that is what it's our safety zone built to keep ourselves safe. Like we built it as a coping strategy. But now our safety zone is also what limits us because what we want is outside of our comfort zone. So there you go. That's right, Rob. That's right. So I don't know, Rob, if you can't see Minnie, but Minnie is here. It looks like there's some confusion going on here, but I can't keep an eye on that right now. Minnie, Rob says, pass on my love. So let's see here. Hey, friends on Periscope. I missed on, there was a couple of comments here. There you go, Vincent. Yes, starting to realize I have to also take responsibility for myself. As an adult, I still somehow expect help to be given to me by older adults in my extensive family. I hear you, Vincent. I hear you. I think it's definitely our wounded self who wants to be rescued, right? It's like we want someone to come to our rescue. And it is something that we needed as children, right? And we can, ask for support as adults, but the rescue thing is very different. And that part comes from us understanding what it is that we need. What is it that you're working on right now? Or, once you get the information, I was actually just talking to one of my clients today about, when we have people in our lives that we recognize now they can't meet our needs. And it's not of non-fault of them, like there's nothing wrong with this person. But when you recognize I have a need, I didn't get this need met as a child, and instead of making this person wrong, how can I, risk being vulnerable, risk, right, being seen, whatever, right? And go to maybe some friends or peers who are also working on this and ask for support. Because I think it's an important thing for me to experience that my needs will be met, can be met, but I can explore with adults, like, can you help me with this? No one can fix it for you, only you can. Hey, Ricky, empowerment over helplessness. Yes. Yes. So, again, coming back to what are the things that we can do? How can we take our power back? We had to, give our power away. We didn't have power over our circumstances or situation growing up. But as we are learning about the impact of trauma, choosing, okay, I may not like what I see, I may not like what I'm learning, but I care about how there's this is a reoccurring challenge and pain in my life. But I can do something about it now. That's right, Ricky. She says, I felt helpless for so long. When I realized I had power, I was free. Yes. Yes. And my friends, this is what we're learning, right? We are really in the golden age of human transformation and change right now. I think people are healing faster, things are changing faster because more of us are having that experience, right? If this body can change as much as it has, yes, it took years. Absolutely being honest, it took years, but I did it. We did it. And I needed a lot of help, a lot of support, and kicking and screaming. And I'm still work in progress, right? I'm not looking for the the checkered flag, the end. I am on this journey to explore it fully, what it is to be human. And had a rough start, like so many of us here, but sweet, sweet friends. What I'm also learning is that we come hardwired with all the things that we need to heal and restore. I mean, that's how amazing our bodies and our nervous system are. Unfortunately, we just have been misguided. I wish our education system was focusing more on teaching us how this whole thing works, what makes this function at an optimal speed and optimal health. It'd be a very different world if that's what we focused on, instead of, right, spending the latter half of our life recovering from our first part of our life. So, and again, that's also the good news. When we heal, when we make sense out of our stories, when we make sense out of, now I know why I carried that story for so long. Thanks, Vincent. You're welcome. Right? Once I understood why I believed that, why I felt that, why I thought that, now I understand. Of course, this body didn't have a choice. This mind didn't have a choice. Of course that hurt. I wasn't getting my needs met. I was being hurt by the people that were supposed to mirror good things to me. It wasn't fun or pretty what I was being mirrored to me. But now I'm the one choosing, what am I seeking? What am I looking at? What am I choosing to take in? Whether it's into my mind, into my mouth, my food, right? Navigating my energy, taking care of this body. I can make a lot of choices, different choices today. And what happens for all of us, all humans, once we feel empowered, we can't help but want to pass it on and to share it with others, right? That's how we, as a community, heal and thrive. And of course, pulled the right card for us today. One day, he or she woke up and decided to be healthy in any small ways. You get to choose. You can choose for you, right? Self-care. Emphasis on the care. The care is the warmth. The care is the respect. The care is the kindness. That's right, Ricky. The body-mind connection is real. Self-care becomes self-kindness, that becomes self-respect, that then becomes self-compassion, and then becomes self-love. And when we love ourselves, not from a selfish ego, place, when we love our bodies, we fall in love with other people's bodies because we see ourselves in all people. So I want to thank you guys for being here today, for showing up and so generously supporting each other. Your comments and questions mean a lot, right? This community, these conversations are co-created. Absolutely. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. So I hope to be back here on Thursday. Same time, same place. That's right, Lady Leo. This is your card. Thank you, Beverly. Self-care, hug self. Yep. Healthy is good for all. You took notes. Awesome. Yeah, and especially right now, my friends, stay healthy, stay safe, and take super, super good care of your home. This is your home. We all need our homes. We need our homes, and it's through our homes that we are connected to each other. This is where we feel that connection. It isn't a mental exercise. It isn't a verbal direction. It is here where we feel that connection. All right, sweet friends, have a beautiful rest of your evening, and I look forward to seeing you back here on Thursday. Same time, same place. Until then, good night, everybody. That's right. Bye, friends.